I'm not even going to take up too much of your time. You see the quality. You see it's looking nice. You see we got the VP9 codec on YouTube. You see everything's looking crispy. We're recording at 60 FPS, upscaled 1080p footage to 2K. You can upscale to 4K if you want to. You'll get an even better VP9 codec, but 2K works just fine for me. You don't have to worry about having longer render times with 2K as you do with 4K. Depending on what type of computer you got, you might got a strong, powerful computer, but mine, I just have a GTX 1050 Ti. Nothing too crazy, nothing too spectacular, but with this bad boy, I'm able to put out some nice crispy videos. If I'm able to put out videos like this with this, just imagine what I can do with something a little stronger. It's gonna look way more magnificent, but this is beautiful as well. If you wanna upload better quality GTA videos, you need to stick around for this video. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Quick little something, look at the quality, you know. Hold on, don't touch me, bro, don't touch me, bro. You know, the quality's looking nice. The plane looking crispy. Come on now, you know the plane looking crispy. Oh, they don't give you a parachute in story mode? Wow, but look at the quality though, it's beautiful. All right, so cutting straight to the chase, no BS, no time wasting. We're gonna come over to your settings in OBS. You wanna go over to your video tab. You wanna make sure you have 1080p selected for your base canvas, 1080p selected for your output canvas as well. So that's fine, that's beautiful. You wanna make sure that 59 FPS is selected or 60, whichever one. It's gonna both say 60 on YouTube, so I leave it at 59.94. And then you wanna come over to the output tab right here, come over to recording. Once you get in the recording tab, you're only going to see a lot of these settings if you choose advanced up here at the top. And then right there, you see it says you can choose where it saves. As far as your audio tracks are concerned, this is where you choose which ones to show up. I have different things on different ones. So one of them's my mic, my game, or whichever console, and then I have my desktop. Then once you get to the encoder part, you want to choose your graphics card if you have one. If you have a graphics card, that's going to be the best situation for you because they recommend using your graphics card to even stream with and record with. If you're going to be recording anything past 6,000 bit rate, it'll give you a nice quality with your graphics card. If you don't have a graphics card, you're going to have to use your CPU, which is fine. But please, please, please don't be using too many different softwares and stuff like that, because it needs to focus on recording and you don't want to be dropping frames and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Right here, it says Rescale Output. Do not choose this. We just want it to stay at 1080p for right now. We want the best quality possible. As far as rate control, we're going to choose CBR. We want a constant bit rate. Now, right here where you choose the bit rate, this is very key. This is very key. It's very important. 50,000 or 40,000 is what I record at. I'm using the Elgato HD60S. Might be the plus. I'm not for sure. It might not even be the plus, but that doesn't matter. I'm using 50,000 or 40,000 because that's going to be perfect for whatever I record. If I'm using at least 60 FPS, 1080p, that's going to be more than enough. It's going to get me a nice crispy video. If you want to, you can go crazy and put a little bit more bitrate on there if you want, but keep in mind, the higher the bitrate, the bigger the file sizes. So if you don't have a lot of room on your hard drive, you might not want to go too crazy with the bitrate because you're going to run out of space and that's not a good look. As far as your keyframe intervals, you want to put that on too. That's what YouTube and most websites suggest that you use. As far as the preset, I choose max quality because I want it to be delicious. But depending on your particular computer, you might want to change it around. But I only have a GTX 1050 Ti and it's doing perfectly fine with these settings. So if you got anything better than mine or the same thing, you'll be perfectly fine. And then as far as the profile, put that on high. Look ahead, I uncheck that. And then psycho visual tuning, I leave that checked. As far as the GPU, this is only when you have multiple GPUs and you want to select different ones. Leave it on 0 if you only have one. And then max B frames, put that on 2. So these are the settings as far as your OBS recordings go. Start off right, end off right. You don't want to start off wrong because you cannot end off right. If your video quality is not good, it's not going to increase once you edit. If your audio quality is not good, that's not going to increase after you edit. You want to make sure you get the recording part down perfect. This will get you right, I promise you. The next very important part of this equation is going to take place in your editing software. I'm going to be showing you in Movie Studio 17, but these settings can be applied to a lot of different software. Adobe, Filmora Pro, a lot of different places, even Final Cut, a lot of different places you will be able to take these settings and put them in. if the software allows you to change these settings. Some softwares is just a little too beginner friendly and they don't let you change this, but maybe you can get close to what you need with that type of software. In Movie Studio or Vegas, whichever one you want to come over to project, you want to go to render as. This screen will pop up right here. And as you can see, you can choose where the folder goes to. You can change the name of it, and then you can choose different things. I have filters selected as on. In Vegas, you want to make sure you're choosing the Magix AVC, AAC MP4. Choose that. Ignore my names. Trust me, please ignore my names. I just be naming these some crazy stuff. So right here, we're going to go ahead and click the one that I have called Fast AF OBS 2K60. And then right here, you see that we have a lot of stuff grayed out. But here's a little trick. If you want to ungray that, just unclick this right here and then click it again. And you see we can click all these different things just grayed out. So right here, for the custom frame size, you see that I have 2560 by 1440. That's going to give me a 2K upload. If you don't got the VP9, you're not on time. If you ain't got the VP9, then the video quality is not going to be fine. So I use VP9 with the 2K upscale or the 4K upscale, whichever one. But I usually do 2K because 4K is going to take a little longer to render out unless you got a beast of a computer. I do not have a beast of a computer. Profile, we want to set that to high. Frame rate, you want to choose this to be exactly what you recorded as. If you mess this up, your video is going to look weird. The motion blur is going to be all messed up. It's not going to be fluid how you recorded it. So make sure the frame rate matches what you recorded. And as far as allow the source to change the frame size or the frame rate, do not check that. Leave that unchecked. And then down here, we want to leave all this set to progressive scan. We want to leave the number of reference frames. We're going to put that as 2. And then right here is where it all gets real serious. So we used 50,000 bit rate. So right here, we're going to choose 50 million right there. And as far as YouTube is concerned, they want you to use 24 bit rate for your actual upload. So we want to make sure that the average bit rate is set to 25 million or 24 million. I just go one above to make sure they really get what they want. So here it is right here. You can screenshot it if you need it, if you want to remember it. This is the SDR upload recommendations, and they have the HDR recommendations as well. So remember, I chose 2K upscale situation, and I'm using 59, but it's going to round up to 60 on YouTube. And so I'm choosing to be around 24,000 bit rate for when I give it to YouTube. Right here where it says 2 pass, this is just going to give you a nicer end result. I usually do not do 2 pass. I just let it do the 1 pass, and it's normally how I like it, how I love it. But you can test out to see how long this takes and to see if you like the difference or if you see a difference. But this will clean it up and make it look a little bit nicer. But these settings I'm showing you before that are perfectly great. It's going to look super crispy. But if you want to do that extra, the extra chef's kiss, go ahead and throw on the 2 pass. But beware, it might take longer to render your video. And then down here, as far as the NV encoder, that is my graphics card again. As far as the preset is concerned, you can see in this exact one I made, I have it set to high performance, but I usually go ahead and choose high quality. You can mess around with a couple of different ones, see which one you like the most. I use high quality. I don't really see too much of a difference in render time. And then down here, you want to go from CBR to VBR. Choosing the variable bit rate, that's going to make sure it chooses from the highest amount that you have. So the 50,000 or the 40,000 that you chose or whatever, it's going to choose from the highest amount. And then whatever the second number you choose right here where it says average is going to choose there, but it's not going to go nowhere below that. That's a good thing. So we're going to choose that. And then right here over in audio, we're going to go over and choose 48 is what I recorded in. You can just make this match what you recorded in. Most people record in 44, 41. It just depends on your particular situation. And I go ahead and put my bit rate at 320,000. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. The choice is yours. And then as far as system, nothing right there I'm about to change or be able to change. And then over here, you want to make sure your video rendering quality is set to best. If it's not set to best and it says use project settings, your project settings up here in this little cog right there, you need to make sure that that's set to best. If it's not set to best, it's not going to look right as far as the rendering situation. But I just go ahead and just make a habit of always having best selected so I don't got to worry about that other setting. And then once you do that, you hit OK, hit render, and then your video is going to be doing this thing. Then you can upload to YouTube. You're going to have that VP9. Everything's going to look nice, beautiful, and magnificent. But don't just take my word for it. I'm going to upload this whole video up to this point, edit it to this point. I'm going to upload it to YouTube, and then I'm going to let it process all the way through. And once it shows VP9 2K upscale, I'm going to show you and put it right here in this video. So you tell me how it looks. I already know it looks beautiful. If this video helped you out, please slam a like button. It's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.